Morning, everybody. Welcome to another fine morning.
Another beautiful day. I hope so. It's springtime and the weather's getting nice. So I hope wherever you live that you're having the same as we are. The tulips are starting to come up and the crocus and all the spring flowers, and it's just a beautiful time of year.
It's cold today, though.
It is a little colder today, but that's this time of year. Anyways, welcome to Coffee Moments with Mike and Jay Glenda, and we're happy that you're here. Yeah, this time of year. So I keep putting the air conditioner on like during the day, right? And then at night, I have to wake up because I'm freezing, and then I have to run and put the heater on. It's like air conditioner, heater all day long. It's just that crazy time of year.
So I just go with the flow with Glenda on her rising and lowering of temperatures depending on what part of the day. Mike, I'm cold. Mike, I'm hot. Mike, I'm cold. Mike, I'm
That's
hot.
our age. That's our age. No, we can't help it. That's women in that age, right? Women, you got me. We can't help that. That's just how it is. Anyway, oh my gosh, we watched the best movie last night. Is it a movie? I guess it's a special.
Yeah, it was like a movie documentary, kind of.
It was incredible. So for all my Disney, friends out there, and I know there's a lot of you guys, for all my Disney friends, you have to see this movie that we watched. And it was on Disney Plus, and I don't remember the name. What was the name?
Disneyland Handcrafted. And what it talks about, it's hosted by, or narrated by Art Linkletter. He was real popular in the 50s, 60s, and early 70s. And he had his own talk show. I think he had a talk show.
He did a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. And anyways, it goes on and talks about how Disneyland in California was created. It was out in the middle of nowhere, which now it's kind of cramped. They probably wish they had bought more land. But
that was his first, and he wasn't sure,
Yeah, and there was a lot of doubters. Even Art Linkletter, Walt Disney asked him to invest in it, and he's a little skeptical, and he didn't invest any money, but he gave his time as the narrator.
Oh, you know what I read? And they didn't mention it. And I'm like, oh, they forgot to mention that. And I read it. But it was said that Walt and him were very good friends. And Walt told him, hey, I'm not going to have enough money to build any hotels or anything like that around Disneyland. I don't have the space really. And I don't have, but there's hotels and property around that you should buy it and you should build a hotel so that when people come, they'll have a place to stay. And Art said that was his biggest regret, is that he didn't really buy into a lot of it. He said, I didn't want to say anything about it because that was my really good friend, but I really just didn't see the vision that he wasn't able to see the vision that Walt did. And so he said his biggest regret in life was that he did not purchase in like land or a hotel and renovate it next to Disneyland.
Well, they had a lot of trouble, Walt did, getting money for this because nobody believed in him. And so part of the documentary was, everybody has a dream. And
his was big. Oh my gosh. And it changed the world. And I think that, thank goodness for his vision and his gusto and his, because, he was always struggling with money. I mean, in today's society, he wouldn't even be considered like ultra wealthy, because if he got any money, he turned it right back around again and put it into his parks and put it into things like that. So, I mean, he would have a little bit and then he'd reinvest it into his projects.
His brother was the one that was Roy was the financial.
He was the one always worrying about money. That's a great thing though. You can just do what you want and have somebody else worry about that. Roy was a great older brother, and Walt was 8 years younger than him. I have a sister that's 8 years older than me, and I also have one 8 years younger than me. I want to dump that financial responsibility on them. It's just, he was a great brother. But anyhow, so what was really cool, the whole thing is amazing. It's just released, I think, pretty, like it's in 2026,
yeah,
right?
2026.
So, and the name again is, what is it? Disneyland
Handcrafted.
Disneyland Handcrafted. Make sure to check it out, because you guys, if you love Disney,
Disney Plus.
Disney, it's on Disney Plus. You have to check it out. It is an incredible, incredible story. One of the things that I was mesmerized by, they built that castle, the Sleeping Beauty castle, in 5 months. 5 months. That was unbelievable. And they were showing like a time lapse. When you watch it, you'll see what I mean. It's really, it got a 10 out of 10. We always, when we're watching for movies, like to look at the ratings. If it's not at least a 7, we really don't want to watch it. Let everybody else, kind of waste their time on something that they don't like it. We probably aren't going to like it either. But very rarely have we seen a 10 out of 10. For us, anything at 7 and above, we'll click on it and we'll watch it. We usually enjoy it.
It shows you from
a 10 out of 10. It's amazing.
Them starting it from empty lot, and they says it was like a 35-40 minute drive to the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and everybody's saying no one's driving that far just to go see that. And boy, were they wrong.
He would give updates on TV. Okay, I told you I give periodic updates, and he talked about the time-lapse camera where it would take a picture every 15 minutes, I think it was.
That's how he did it. Yeah, it was cool.
So over a little over, I guess it was a year or two that they.
I don't know. They built it really quickly, and then
it was amazing that they were doing was, okay, it's 2 months before. Opening.
You won't believe it when you watch it.
You have like a shell of a building.
Nothing in it. No, nothing. Like, you will not believe it when you watch it. And I think that's very cool, and we both picked up on that, is that Walt would say on a Friday would come up with an idea that he wanted to do something in the park. No blueprints, no nothing. And then he expected his workers just start building it on Monday. And so his workers were like, all right, and they would just build it how they thought it should be built. All his carpenters and his workmen there. And they were very passionate about the project. They kind of were, I don't think the original workers of Disneyland need to have a lot more credit after I watched that, because yes, it was Walt's idea. Yes, it was Walt's things. But Walt would show up on a Friday and tell them what he wanted them to start building on a Monday. No blueprints, no nothing. He would just describe it to them. Sometimes he'd sketch it out on a little piece of paper. And it was really up to them to take the hold of it and to make his visions come true. And these workers, they weren't Imagineers at the time. There was no such thing. And so these workers were really, as much as Walt was a creator, all of these craftsmen that he hired were very dedicated to it, and they were interested in it, and they were proud to be a part of it. And they all gave it their all. And one of the things that we have to laugh about is that they were like lifting them up on the castle with like a piece of board with like a rope tied to it. And the guy would be holding on to the rope and being pulled up to the top of the castle to place something. Yeah. Or like on the river boats, there were like no guards or anything. And we were laughing because we were thinking, you can imagine today's building codes. It would have never have happened. Disneyland would have never passed any of the building codes, or that, what did they call it, OSHA?
Yeah.
The OSHA.
Walt gave a lot of credit to the workers.
They deserved it. They were great.
When it was opening, he mentioned that, and their dedication, as Glenda said, was instrumental to the completion of the project.
Definitely.
He said, okay, we're opening this in July, and
they kept asking him to push it back.
Yeah, and he said no.
Well, he couldn't, because it would have gone bankrupt. He needed to have people in the door to get money so that he could pay his debt, his debts. And if they would have pushed it back, it would have gone bankrupt before it even opened, and there would not be any Disneyland. So Walt was right about that part of it. He's like, he needed to pay his loans and the people that he owed money to. And so that's why he had to push it forward.
The performers at the park, when they were opening,
because
they just finished the park like the day before they opened, and it wasn't like, okay, it's open, we'll open it next week and all that, and everything's done. But they were practicing their performances in the middle of the
construction
workmen.
Guys.
And the craftsmen, because they were all craftsmen as far as at their trades. It was just amazing, the skill.
And the dedication though, like, you know, like nowadays people are like, it's 5 o'clock, I'm out of here, I'll see you tomorrow. Those guys were really dedicated, and a lot of them, because of the commute that we had discussed, back and forth, like 30-45 minutes depending on where they lived. Most people didn't live right there. A lot of them would just take a sleeping bag and sleep above Main Street in one of the buildings that they had already completed, so that they would be there early in the morning to start again, and they would just stay there on site, because they would work from sun up to sundown to get this completed. And they were very dedicated. I don't think it doesn't matter what you pay people. I just don't think, would you find a whole couple hundred people that were that dedicated to something? I mean, he was really a lucky man when it comes to that. He always had a knack at finding the best craftsmen. I mean, one of them is I still follow him. It's Raymond Kinman, I think his name is, and he is a woods crafter, and he did a lot of the wood signs and stuff like that for all of the Disney projects and things, and he's incredible, and he still works with them. But there are so many people that are so talented that he has found, and he got himself a great group of people to make his dream come true. It's really an amazing story, and I've never been to Disneyland. We need to add that to our bucket list.
Yeah, I've never been there.
I know, we've never been. I've never really been to California. I had a layover there once, but that doesn't count. So we need to do that. We need to make Disneyland or bust. Everybody watches.
Yeah, we
need to Disneyland or bust.
We used to go to Florida, and that's another documentary in itself.
Yeah, we always are in Florida. But people say that once you go to Disney World, you'll be disappointed in Disneyland. I don't think I would be. I don't expect the same. I mean, that was his first, but I really feel like I want to go there. I want to see where it all started.
Yeah, and when they were building Disneyland, like there was a mound all the way around the park, so you couldn't see into the park, and he wanted the magic of seeing each land individually, and just to make that wow reaction to everybody.
Yeah, and it was it was just incredible. He had you know, he ran out of budget. They didn't mention this in the film either, but I read about it, and I thought they should have mentioned it, I thought, because it was really funny. So he ran out of budget for like these big trees and landscaping. It gets expensive, and he needed the money to actually finish the attraction. So he did what he could with his landscaping budget, but some of the weeds and stuff like that, I heard that he just went around and had like fancy like labels. You know, there's like a scientific name and like a real name. Like we could say like it's goldenrod, right? It's like but he would look up the scientific name for that, and he would make a plaque up for it. And he went around the park with all these plaques for these weeds, but people, you know, they looked like they thought they were plants because they had the scientific name. That's something I would do. They had the scientific name, and so people were like, oh, that's interesting. Meanwhile, it's just a bunch of weeds, but he labeled them with what the scientific name was for the weeds, so that people would think it was like extra landscaping, until he got the money that he could pull out the weeds and actually put plants in there. There's a lot of good history there, but that was incredible. It's a new one. It is on Disney Plus. It's called, again, what's the name of it? I keep forgetting.
Disneyland Handcrafted.
Handcrafted, and it really was. And anyways, thank goodness for that park, because we wouldn't have all that we have if it didn't all started there. So you have to watch it. It's a must watch for any Disney lover like us. I would give it a 10. What would you give it?
Yeah, I'd give it a 10. It was interesting, whether you're Disney or not, of just the construction of his updates. The people, again, that did not believe in him, and you know, I think that they expected him to fail.
They
said, so there's Walt's Park.
They were kind of mocking him.
It's going to be the biggest fail ever, and they had people lined up forever as far as try to get into that park. And
so good for him. You know what? That's a testament to all of us, that, you know, when people say that's going to fail and that's going to fail, don't fall into it. Be a Walt and just keep pursuing your dreams, because they really can come true. And if he would have gave up and he would have you know, listened to all of the negative people telling him you shouldn't have done it, we wouldn't have what we have today that everybody gets to enjoy. So I say, you know what? Don't ever go with the naysayers. If you have a dream and you have a passion and a vision, just follow your dreams. And anyways, I guess that's a good note to
Yeah.
end on, right?
Yep.
So watch it. You guys will love
Take
it.
care.
Okay, we have to do our jingle. Ready?
All right.
Sip, sip, smile a lot, coffee moments hit the spot. Okay, have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that button, as Michael says. Until tomorrow, we will see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take
Have
care.
a magical day. Bye-bye.